There comes a moment in a man's life when he stops and wonders, is this just how it's going to be from now on? The slowing down, the fatigue that clings to your bones, the quiet fading of desire, of purpose, of the sharpness that once made you feel alive. Most men over 60 accept this as the cost of growing older. They think it's normal. I am here to tell you, it's not. Or at least, it doesn't have to be. You've been told a story, a very convincing one, that your body is breaking down, that the best you can hope for is a prescription, maybe an injection, and a few good days scattered in between the hard ones. This story is not only false, it's dangerous. And the people who benefit most from it are not men like you, but companies making billions every year from your belief in decline. I've spent over 3 decades as a men's health specialist, sitting with thousands of men, looking into their eyes as they ask me if this is the end of the road. And each time, I tell them the same thing. Your body is not broken, it is underfed, undervalued, misunderstood. What you feel right now is not age. It's a signal, a call to remember that healing is not a fantasy reserved for the young. It's your birthright, no matter how many candles were on your last birthday cake. You see, the real power to reclaim your energy, your confidence, and your intimacy doesn't lie in expensive treatments. It lies in your grocery bag. That's right, in the fruits of the earth that have nourished men for thousands of years, not synthetic pills with side effects longer than their benefits, but real food, natural fuel, the kind your body still recognizes, still craves, even if you've forgotten how good it feels to be full of life. And this is the secret the billion-dollar health industry doesn't want you to know. Because the moment you realize that 3 simple fruits, eaten daily in the right way, can revive your blood flow, reignite your testosterone, and power your cells with clean energy, is the moment you no longer need them. You take back control. This is not speculation. It's not hype. It's what science has shown and what I've witnessed firsthand in men who made the shift. Men who walked into my clinic drained and defeated, and walked out weeks later standing taller, smiling wider, living better. Not because they found a miracle, but because they found truth. And that truth begins with what you choose to put in your body each morning. This is where our journey begins. Not with more fear, but with clarity, with knowledge, with the belief that you are not done. That life can still surge through you like it used to. In the next part, I'll take you inside the first fruit that can restart your circulation and restore your confidence in ways no prescription ever could. But before we go there, I want you to pause, breathe, and ask yourself this simple question. What if everything you've been told about aging was incomplete? What if this is not your ending, but your comeback? Every man remembers a time when he felt powerful. Maybe it was during a morning run that felt effortless, or a quiet night with his partner that ended in a smile. Only the two of them understood. That feeling of strength, presence, vitality's not just physical, it's emotional, it's deeply human. And when it begins to fade, a man starts to question everything. Let me tell you about James. He was 72 when he walked into my office, but he moved like a man much older. His shoulders hunched, his voice low, his spirit dimmed. He sat down, looked at me, and said, "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be." What James didn't know then, and what so many men don't realize, is that his problem wasn't age. It was blood flow. Circulation is the foundation of male health. Without strong, steady blood moving through your body, energy drops, confidence wanes, intimacy fades. It's not just about one area of performance. It's about every cell in your body receiving the oxygen and nutrients it needs to keep you alert, strong, and fully alive. This is where the pomegranate comes in. This humble red fruit has been studied in medical journals around the world, not because it's trendy, but because it works. packed with powerful antioxidants called polyphenols, especially punicalagins. Pomegranate juice does more than taste good. It protects and repairs the delicate lining of your blood vessels. It increases nitric oxide, a natural compound your body produces to relax and widen arteries. When nitric oxide rises, so does circulation. I've seen men go from flat to flourishing in as little as 2 weeks. Not from surgery or pills, but from drinking 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice each morning. Just like James did. When he came back to see me 3 weeks later, everything had changed. His walk was stronger, his eyes had life in them, and he joked that his wife had started calling him the new guy in the house. This wasn't magic, it was biology. Real science backed by real results. Because when you feed your body what it truly needs, it responds, quickly and consistently. Too often, men reach for shortcuts, little blue pills that force results without fixing the root. But those shortcuts come with risks, and they never last. Pomegranate, on the other hand, builds you from the inside out. It restores the natural rhythm of blood movement that fuels energy, supports heart health, and yes, even renews intimacy. But the effects go beyond the physical. When blood flows freely, men report clearer thinking, better sleep, calmer moods. Your body doesn't work in isolated systems. It's one whole. And when circulation improves, everything improves. So if you're feeling stuck, if the man in the mirror looks more tired than you remember, don't settle for silence. Reach for the fruit that has helped countless men, just like you turn things around. The pomegranate isn't exotic or mysterious. It's simply effective. Start tomorrow. 1 glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. First thing in the morning. Let it become your ritual. And as the days pass, watch your body remember what it means to come alive. This is only the first step. But it's a powerful one. And in our next part, we'll explore the second fruit, the one that quietly rebuilds your hormones and brings back that internal fire. There's a kind of silence that settles in a man's life when his inner fire begins to dim. It's not always loud. It doesn't come with sirens or flashing lights. It just slips in quietly. A little less drive in the morning, a little less strength in the handshake, a fading spark in the bedroom. And before long, he starts to believe that this is simply how it's going to be. But let me tell you something most doctors won't. That fire inside you, your sense of vitality, ambition, and masculine energy isn't gone. It's just waiting. And the fuel it needs isn't found in a patch or a prescription. It's found in something as simple as a piece of fruit, a fruit that has been quietly rebuilding men's hormones for generations. The avocado. I remember Michael. He was 68, tall, smart, full of opinions. But in his words, he just didn't feel like a man anymore. It's not just about sex, he said. It's like I'm watching my life happen from the outside. I'm not in it. That hit me. Because I've heard that story so many times, and I know where it comes from. Testosterone is not just a hormone. It's the heartbeat of male vitality. It gives you that push to take action, that clarity to speak your truth, that boldness to make decisions and stand tall. And yes, it drives physical desire, but its reach is much deeper. It's about confidence, focus, motivation, and unfortunately, after 60, your testosterone levels begin to drop unless you know how to feed them. The avocado is your quiet ally in this fight. Rich in monounsaturated fats, this creamy green fruit gives your body the raw materials it needs to make testosterone naturally. No tricks, no artificial stimulation, just clean, efficient building blocks. It also brings magnesium and zinc minerals essential for hormonal balance. And perhaps most importantly, it contains vitamin B6, which lowers cortisol, stress hormone that chokes testosterone in the background. When cortisol rises, testosterone crashes. It's that simple. So if you're living with constant stress, whether from work, family, or just the pressures of aging, your hormones are under siege. But avocado changes the game. Michael took my advice. Half an avocado every day, usually in the morning. Within a week, something shifted. He felt more grounded, more present. His wife noticed he was sleeping better. He began to tackle projects around the house he'd been ignoring for months. And his mood steady, strong, optimistic. That's what happens when your testosterone comes back online. Your body remembers who you are. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming ownership over how you feel, move, and live. Avocado does more than support your hormones. It supports your heart, your brain, your ability to recover from stress. It nourishes the systems that power you every day. And it does all this without side effects, without dependency, without drama. So if you've been feeling flat, if your passion feels distant, or if your confidence has been chipped away slowly over time, it's not too late. Give your body the fuel it needs. Make space for the fire to return. Half an avocado a day. That's it. No fanfare, no marketing campaign. Just one powerful decision, repeated daily. And if you stay consistent, if you trust the process, you may be surprised by what wakes up inside you. In the next part, we'll dive into the final fruit, the one that charges every cell in your body and sustains your energy like nothing else. Sometimes the problem isn't that a man feels sick, it's that he feels tired. Tired in his body, in his mind, and somewhere deeper too. That kind of fatigue doesn't come with a fever or a diagnosis. It comes with the quiet realization that the energy you once carried through life is no longer there. Thomas was 73 when he told me, "Doc, I wake up more tired than when I went to sleep. I'm not sad, I'm just empty." He wasn't broken, he wasn't depressed, he was depleted. And the root of his problem wasn't complicated. It was breakfast. See, your body, especially after 60, doesn't just bounce out of bed and get to work. It needs a signal, a trigger, a source of fuel that tells every cell it's time to go. And the best messenger I've found for this job is one of the most overlooked fruits in the store, the banana. People dismiss bananas because they're common, basic. But in health, sometimes the simplest things are the most powerful. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral that does far more than prevent cramps. It stabilizes your blood pressure. It supports heart rhythm. It keeps your arteries open and your circulation smooth. In other words, it ensures the blood boosted by pomegranate has a clear path to travel. But that's just the beginning. Bananas are also packed with vitamin B6 and magnesium 2 nutrients that work behind the scenes to relax your blood vessels and regulate your nervous system. They help your body manage stress without spiking cortisol. That means your testosterone stays protected, your sleep deepens, and your mood stays steady. What really sets bananas apart, though, is the way they provide energy. Not the jittery, crash-heavy kind you get from coffee or sugar, but clean, stable fuel. Bananas contain natural sugars paired with fiber, which slows down their absorption and gives you a steady stream of glucose. That's the kind of energy your brain and muscles thrive on. And if you think energy is just about movement, think again. Energy is what powers your thinking, your emotional resilience, your ability to stay engaged in conversation, in relationships, in life itself. When Thomas started his mornings with a banana, a glass of water, and a little protein, sometimes just a spoonful of peanut butter, he noticed something incredible. "I'm not crashing mid-morning anymore," he told me. "I feel more stable, more capable. That's what happens when your cells get what they need. Everything else becomes easier." There's also a little compound in bananas called tryptophan. It's an amino acid that your body converts into serotonin, the feel-good chemical that lifts your mood and calms your nerves. That's why men who eat bananas regularly report feeling more emotionally balanced and less irritable. We often think of vitality as something flashy: strength, muscle, performance. But real vitality begins quietly. In the morning, in your gut, in your bloodstream, in the tiny engines of your cells called mitochondria. And bananas feed those engines beautifully. This fruit isn't fancy. It's not a superfood sold in tiny packages with exotic labels, but it does something no supplement can. It gives your body what it recognizes, what it can use immediately, and what it desperately needs to function well. So if you've been waking up foggy, if your focus is slipping, if your energy disappears before noon, consider this. Maybe your body isn't tired. Maybe it's undernourished. A banana a day might be the simplest fix you've never tried. In our final part, we'll bring everything together into a morning plan that's helped men just like you restore their strength, their rhythm, and their control over how they age. You've made it this far. That alone tells me something important. You're not here to drift through the rest of your years. You're here to reclaim them, to live with energy, not exhaustion, with presence, not passivity, with power, not regret. And now that you've seen what real nourishment can do for a man's body and spirit, it's time to put that knowledge into action. Let me offer you a simple yet powerful routine. One that takes 5 minutes each morning. One that doesn't require a prescription, a membership, or a leap of faith. Just a quiet decision to treat your body like it matters. I call it the Morning Vitality Trio. Here's what it looks like. First, pour yourself a small glass of pure pomegranate juice, about 6 ounces. No sugar added. No blends, just the deep red fuel your blood vessels need to open wide and move strong. Next, slice and eat half an avocado. Let its healthy fats stabilize your hormones and protect your testosterone from the daily stress that tries to steal it away. This isn't just food, it's armor. Finally, peel a banana and eat it slowly. Let its potassium power your heart. Let its magnesium soothe your nerves. Let its natural sugars feed your brain and fuel your muscles. 3 simple fruits. 1 powerful message to your body. We are rebuilding. We are rising. This combination works not just because of what each fruit offers, but because of how they work together. The pomegranate opens the flow. The avocado fortifies your foundation. The banana sustains your momentum. It's a perfect storm of nourishment, delivered at the very start of your day when your body is most ready to receive it. Start this tomorrow. Don't overthink it. Just do it. And then do it again the next day, and the next. Because healing doesn't always arrive with a bang. Sometimes it sneaks in through consistency, through habit, through care. And when you look up 1 week later, maybe 2, you'll start to notice the difference. Your walk feels lighter, your thoughts feel sharper. You don't just wake up, you get up, with purpose, with steadiness, with a fire that feels familiar, like an old friend who never truly left. This isn't about reversing age. It's about rewriting the story you've been handed, about aging with clarity, with strength, with dignity. The world may not celebrate older men, but I do, because I've seen what happens when they stop believing in decline and start investing in their comeback. And now, I'll ask something of you. Share this message. Think of one man, a brother, a friend, a neighbor who needs to hear that it's not too late, that vitality doesn't have an expiration date, that he can wake up tomorrow and begin again. And if this message spoke to you, let me know. Share your story. Ask your questions. Tell me what's keeping you up at night, or what dream you've almost given up on. I read every word. I respond with care. Because you're not just a viewer. You're part of this mission. We are building a community of men who don't give up, who don't settle, who choose strength, clarity, and hope on morning at a time. Let this be the first of many.